Welcome to the Investing Podcast, presented by Tusk Media. Now, for your early morning look at financial news and activity in audio and video form, here's the Morning Market Mimosa.
Hey everybody, welcome back. The Investing Podcast. This is your Morning Market Mimosa. It's Wednesday, August 10th, 2016. Happy hump day, everybody. Round two for this podcast. We fired intern Austin last week. Well-deserved firing. Started recording this podcast in which we were going to actually introduce the new version of Austin. His name's Garrett. We call him Austin 2.0. We were going to introduce him, and we get halfway through the video, almost to the part where we're going to introduce the new guy, and the memory card failed. So way to go, Austin. Way to be a great leader, a great teacher. I don't even know what to do at this point. This is his last day to get his stuff, so folks, bear with us. We will have Austin up here at the end of the day, let him kind of clear his name, and see if he can acquit himself, at least in terms of the opinion of 5-star reviews. Leave us a 5-star review. We'll read it on air. We'll have a great time with it. Quick shout out. We've said this before, but if you send us a coffee mug or apparel from your company, we will use it on the air. Today, we've got this really nice mug from Narwhal Capital Management. Actually, the parent company of Tusk Media and my employer. So shout out to Narwhal Capital Management for doing the good work and let me carry this thing across the street, down the hall, wherever I am. So glad to have you on board. Let's jump in and talk about the markets a little bit. Dow futures are up 6 basis points. S&P futures up 11. NASDAQ futures up 12. Gold up almost 1%. Oil down about 0.5%. Interesting day. We talked a lot about the B word. That's Brexit. We try not to use it as much as possible. We had a big, quick flash crash then. And then we've really had a nice rally since then. Some strong earnings along the way. People are starting to feel a little bit more positive about this market, despite some of the bigger global economic pressures that we're all looking at. People are starting to feel good. Today I saw a headline about the Dow potentially going up another 8% up to 20,000 over the next year. The way they figured that out is they took basically analyst expectations for the 30 components of the Dow, averaged them together and said, here's where we're going to get. Now, we're not making a market call here at Tusk Media or Narwhal Capital. We certainly would love to see equity portfolios rise another 7 or 8%. We'd love to see them rise 80%. That'd be awesome over the next 12 months. That'd be great for you, great for me. But we're going to continue to kind of keep an eye on things. We're not making that call. We're going to look for individual opportunities, look for undervalued companies, and to be honest, that's getting to be a little bit challenging right now. Even traditional value stocks, if they pay a dividend, all of a sudden you're starting to see yield seekers really pour into them, drive those prices up. So we've got to kind of pick and choose our spots. Still looking for an imbalance between risk and reward. So to try to identify some individual themes and individual opportunities. So we're going to continue to keep you guys up to date in terms of what we're looking at, what we're talking about in investment committee meetings, all that good stuff along the way. A couple of headlines. Delta, more flights canceled, more flights delayed. They said they're going to be back to quote-unquote normal today. If you fly Delta a lot, you know that normal may not be the most ideal scenario, but they're going to be back to normal, which is apparently better than where they've been. Surprisingly, the stock, I think, has kind of weathered this pretty well. Airlines typically are incredibly sensitive to headline risk, and so despite all these cancellations, all these flight plan changes, all that kind of stuff, they've actually hung pretty tough. So shout out to Delta, ticker DAL, for that. Olympic update, rowing canceled for today. It's the second time since the Olympics started that they've canceled rowing for the day. I think they should cancel rowing altogether. I've said this before. In fact, I said it just a few minutes ago before Austin messed up the video. But if you're playing a sport that's not even the most evolved version of your sport, it's no longer a relevant sport. Rowing is not the most modern way to move through a boat. Even sailing is more modern, because if I set sail, I have to at least pay attention to current weather trends and climate patterns. That at least matters. Rowing, not a sport. We can move much quicker through the water than we can when we're just rowing. Let's have like some actual motored boat racing. Let's make that happen. That might be an Olympic sport. To use the other side of the coin here, basketball. There's not really a more evolved, sustainable way of playing basketball, so basketball is still relevant, can still be an Olympic sport. Now, I would argue rock and jock basketball on MTV was much more evolved, much more fun, but the reality is we just don't have that level of musician that can come out and hit a 30-point shot. We just don't have those anymore. So, Olympics, cancel rowing forever. Just get rid of it. We don't need it today. We don't need it tomorrow. We don't need it in 4 years. We don't need it ever. Cancel rowing. Michael Phelps, 21 gold medals now, which is absolutely insane. The only thing more insane is the people out there on Twitter who have these incredibly hot takes and come out of left field and say, you know what, Michael Phelps, he's the best Olympian of all time. There's never been a more obvious sports take in the history of hot sports takes. That's unbelievably ridiculous. If you want to compare Michael Phelps to number 2 in terms of Olympic success, you can't do it. Nobody has matched that. Michael Phelps, 21 gold medals. Nobody else has more than 9. He's won 25 total gold medals. Nobody else has more than 18. He's the oldest swimmer, so the oldest guy in his sport to ever win a gold medal, and he's still winning them. He won 8 medals in a single Olympiad. Nobody has ever done that. There is no number 2. He's been the best Olympian for several Olympics at this point. So if you're coming out and saying, after he finally won number 21, saying he's got enough medals that those medals are old enough to drink, if that's your standard for calling him the greatest Olympian of all time, you're way behind. Catch up. Some big swimming today. We've got some more breaststroke action, a little Lily King, Yulia Efimova rematch today. They're just doing heats, so not to the finals yet. So we'll keep an eye on that. Again, Lily King, most unlikable American gold medalist of our generation. That's all we got for the Olympic update for now, with the exception of an updated medal count. Gold medals only, hashtag gold only. It's all that matters. We only track winning. You didn't win if you didn't win. So we don't track silver or bronze medals. USA back up here on top with 9. I forgot the numbers on the others. I think I've got it maybe on my phone. But what matters here is that Hungary has 4. Russia has 3. Australia has 4. I want to say China is between 5 and 8. That's kind of the range China is in. I'm not quite sure. So congrats to USA for taking that lead back. Let's jump on to the new guy. We got a new guy here, Mr. Garrett Palmer, interning for the next couple months. Garrett, how's it going, man? Come on out.
Good.
So Garrett, some pro tips here. You want to look right at the camera. So keep an eye on that.
All right.
And you also want to kind of keep one eye on Austin, because you never know when he's going to try to sabotage a video. So Garrett, welcome. How's it going?
Good. I hope one day that I can promote myself from Austin 2.0 to maybe intern Garrett.
Whoa.
Hopefully.
That's bold.
I have big ambitions
That's
here.
bold. Now we are known for generously awarding awards to interns. So is there any kind of award that you would like to win at the end of your tenure here?
Most unlike Austin would be a solid one.
That would be really successful.
I hear around here that that's a pretty good goal to go for.
That would be pretty successful, but I will say Austin did take home 5 trophies.
Is that right?
So I've actually got pictures. He's carrying them, holding them like a bunch of little babies in his arms. So Austin, 5-time award-winning podcast person. I don't know what you call the person, but a podcast person. 5-time award-winning. So Garrett's here. He's first day today. He's going to be running a lot of Tusk, kind of doing all the production, all the Austin stuff, which in all seriousness, Austin's done like a solid C- on so far.
Hey, that's fine.
So Austin's done a pretty good job. What are the aspects of producing a podcast that you know the least about?
Most everything.
Cool. So you're in the right place, because we're
Yeah.
kind of in that same spot. Garrett's also going to be helping us out with some portfolio stuff. We're actually going to give him our largest client portfolios and let him manage them without any oversight. Now, we're just kidding. This is how we test our listeners. He's going to sit in on our meetings. He's going to almost be a secretary. That's a gender-neutral term. But he's going to be taking a lot of notes, letting things kind of marinate a little bit, taking notes, sending out emails, logging a bunch of stuff internally so that we can track our ideas, create some efficiencies in how we're making decisions, and playing a really pivotal role in that room, which, again, Austin's actually done a little bit of that as well. So we're excited about that. He's got, in all seriousness, Austin did a fantastic job. He has big shoes to fill, but we think he can do it. We'll see. We wouldn't have hired him if we didn't think he could be at least as good as Austin. That's kind of our minimum threshold. It used to be, can you be as good as Scotty? And now we've elevated a little bit to, can you be as good as Austin?
Oh, Austin was better than Scotty.
Yeah, so we're moving up in the world here.
Shots fired.
Yeah. And we're excited to have Garrett. He's going to be on here quite a bit. We'll probably do a long-form interview with him at some point, talk about his life, all that good stuff. And maybe we'll have him pop up here from time to time covering for me. and you'll get to know him over the next couple months. So Garrett, glad you're here. Glad you guys are here. Hit subscribe, leave a 5-star review, share us with your friends, with your family, whatever it may be. We will be back later, hopefully with a stock market power lunch. We will definitely be back for the investing happy hour, and we're going to give Austin a chance to come out here and defend himself. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are our professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.